What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be playing Fortnite. Let's get into it. I just realized I have bloody nose. Oof. Okay, I just took care of it.
I think it really goes to show that we're so shocked by this because they've done such a great job for so long that when there are tragedies like this, it's doubly shocking because they do a great job and largely it goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
You know, they've been working in concert with a lot of National Guards and men and women who have been at the Capitol since January 6th. Now, those Guards numbers have come down. I think they were still around 2,000. I could be wrong, Jeff, but now I would imagine they're going to stick around a while. But your sense of what role they will play going forward?
I think they'll continue to play the same role they're playing now, is that outer perimeter of security so that the Capitol Police can remain at the middle perimeter and in the inner perimeter around the people they're actually charged to protect. So they're not bringing outside entities into the Capitol. You have people inside the Capitol who are going to know the evacuation routes, who are going to know everything from emergency medicine protocols to protocols if there's some kind of chemical or biological attack. So it would be my guess that the National Guard will continue to be that out there perimeter, that first line of security.
Yes, thank you very much. Before we lead up to those, I just want to go to Charles Marino right now, former Secret Service Special Agent himself, on multiple Capitol ID. Again, steadily enough, consistent work that an officer is there.
What? What?
Inside of the compound of the
How do we spawn kill me?
Was a success. That this officer maybe and potentially save some lives with his sacrifice today. So, Charles, the next issue then becomes whether even wider areas talked about getting January 6th.
Stupid.
I'm wondering now, in light of this incident, whether to reignite those talks. Because we've seen sporadic incidents like this. Women a few years ago, and sporadic going as far as
the
automobile access and access to that in the Capitol.
Yeah, Neil, thanks. It's not a big day for the Capitol Police once again and the country. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the Capitol Police. You know, listen, as we know, on January 6th, the Capitol Police went under a comprehensive review of all of their security processes and procedures. And we saw the temporary fencing go up, we saw the additional vehicle policy.
Staff members working at the Capitol today. I know today, the recess for pretty much everyone. I'm just wondering, it could have been very different. It would probably be scary if everyone was there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of my staff was home. The office that we had some committee staff that was on site today, finishing up some work. We have a trip to the border next week, so some of the Homeland Security staff was still in. But thank God that this today was Good Friday. This could have been a lot worse, especially considering where the assailant drove his car into a lot of people, especially when the weather's out. It's nice outside. They use that entrance to get from the Senate building over to the Capitol instead of taking the tunnel. So this was a full day. Those are very, very highly traveled roads. What happened today, he actually did the job that they were supposed to do. They stopped the assailant being able to get off the Capitol ground. It did what it was supposed to do, and the police officers did what they were supposed to do. And I have to say, my thoughts and prayers with the family of the officer that lost his life today, and all the Capitol police, with what they've had to deal with the last 3 months, losing another officer today, it breaks my heart. I speak to these officers every day when I'm in Washington. They put their lives on the line for us. They deserve so much respect and so much help, and it just breaks my heart that they have to go through this all again.
It is sobering, and you're quite right about that. Congressman, thank you very, very much. I'm glad you're well. The staff is safe and all of that. Congressman Andrew Governor of New York on today's development. I want to go to Peter Ducey. The President of the United States is at Camp David this week and get elected. I think before any of this, erupted up on Capitol Hill. Peter, do we know whether he's planning a statement or anything like that? We do not expect to see the president on camera again at any point today from Camp David, which is a helicopter right away from here in Maryland, because shortly after he arrived at the presidential retreat, the White House told us there was a lid, as they referred to it, on presidential movement and statements. So we don't expect to see him. We have no reason to think that he is coming back to the White House this afternoon. The press folder travels with the president has not been notified of any potential movement on this Good Friday. We know, and the only information that we've gotten firmly and ready for air came through the press pool from the press secretary, and that is just that the president is aware of what happened, but we have not heard anything from him about the death of this officer who died in the Capitol, or the officer who remains in their hospital here in Washington, D.C. So unfortunately right now, even though we have learned a lot in the last couple hours, not much from the White House and President Biden yet. Peter, we know the lockdown that took place at Capitol Hill, do we know whether there were any changes or partial lockdown, anything of that sort at the White House, even with the president gone at that time?
No, and part of the reason I came upstairs right as things were unfolding up the street of Pennsylvania Avenue, and there was somebody from the Park Service who was cutting some of the grass, and there was somebody else using a weed whacker. I noticed that there was some sort of a normal shift change with the Secret Service. It did not appear that they were on any kind of higher alert, but part of the reason why that would be on the White House grounds is that the big fencing that recently came down at the Capitol still remains around pretty much the entire 16-acre White House complex, plus a few additional blocks out towards Lafayette Park, which was the scene of a lot of the really heated protests this summer. So this entire area has a perimeter that makes it really difficult for anybody that does not have a card credential to get close to it. And so
For comment on, there's a lot we don't know about what this,
Bro,
man, Indiana, and
Papi, ngunya nyo.
it is not recording.
But your thoughts on how protected the Capitol is for this sort of thing? God forbid that it happens again. But a long unstable individual or a large crowd.
I think it's important that we wait and we get the facts. The folks at the Counterterrorism Center, I'm sure, are working overtime. They have incredible information. Americans can be very proud of the intelligence officers that work around the clock to figure out all of the pieces of intelligence and trying to put it
Are you
together.
sure you want to go to
Whether or not we have
Brony?
any intelligence on this or not, I can guarantee you we have a whole bunch now on this individual.
I'm going to go to Brony. I'll go in.
I can't imagine what these slain officers' families are thinking today on Good Friday. I can't imagine getting a call when you're thinking you're going to celebrate Easter and your husband or your father is dead in the line of fire. I hope that we constantly remember all these police officers, law enforcement officials on the front line.
I'm trying to die.
I'm sensitive to not
Already know.
overemphasizing just the ones that happened in Washington, D.C. this week alone. We had an officer die in Texas on Wednesday. Within the last 7 days, we've had 4, one in New York, one in Florida, one in Indiana. We've had 6 from the beginning of the year in California. There's been 89 total since January 1st. This is an epidemic. This is why we have to back the blue. This is why we have to fund police officers that rush to the front of a crisis. That these men and women are heroes, and we always need to remember that they need our support.
Rick, much has been made of whether the Capitol is vulnerable to this sort of thing. It is what it is. I think as one agent told me a little earlier today. But that we've got the heightened security around the area. We can't just leave the Capitol Police, the National Guard men and women who were there. Maybe should stay there. I think it's down to 2,000 now, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But that their presence is just as important and help out in the capital itself. What do you think of that?
Look, I think today is a really difficult day to have that conversation, a thoughtful conversation when we're all emotional about this. I think is hard. But we need to have those conversations. We need to figure out what the balance is. Freedom is very important, and so is public safety. I was listening to a previous guest say that some of the barriers that are in place have been there for a very long time. These aren't new. This isn't something that was part of the increased security, and I think that that's true. It worked to stop the vehicle, and that's a good thing. I think we have to have a thoughtful discussion about this, but I don't want to overemphasize, having so many police officers, everywhere in every public building. We have to have a balance here. We don't have enough actually to stop every single incident, and I think that we need to have a thoughtful conversation going forward.
I got a bush.
While I have you as well, Ambassador, I do want to harken back to the security, and it doesn't have to be a security issue even at our borders right now.
It's supposed to be stuck in this
all of
one.
these migrant
Stupid.
really heart-wrenching view of these two little girls who were dropped from a 14-foot fence. They're okay, but it did heighten the sense that things are getting out of control there, and that the administration, whether it's the president or the vice president, should get down there. But this is now to the point where thousands increase every week, and they're being shifted off the facilities all over the country, and more so needed. What do you think of what's going on right now, and what the president should be doing?
I think it's a Washington game to say, the vice president should rush out to the border or the president should be there and have some sort of photo op. I think that's silly. Most Americans don't really think the presence of the president or the vice president is going to make a huge difference. Of course, symbolically, that's important. I would rather focus on the language. And what we've had from
can I get that med kit?
Is a confusing situation.
I have it.
We had people who have failed in the past to protect the border, to be very strong in trying to have law and order at the border. They're now in charge. They have this somehow mixed up mentality that having an open border or showing your sympathy for people jumping the line somehow equates to being pro-immigrant. And I think you can do both, and I think the Republican Party has shown that they've done both. We are a country that allows 1 million people a year citizenship. We're very generous in this country. But there's a line because there's probably 100 million people that want to come in. So the idea that you're going to message jumping the line is okay, I don't think is very pro-immigrant. I actually think it's anti-immigrant, and I think it's anti-law enforcement. And in California, we have this thing called sanctuary cities, and it's a real nice name to the idea that we're going to ignore law enforcement and ignore laws that we don't like. That's dangerous. I'd rather see people and the media focus on the language that is clearly enticing people to break the law, jump the line, and somehow get away with it because we think that it's compassionate.
I already got that.
People that are waiting in line.
Thank you, though. Where? Oh, where? We're done with these.
William Evans, the U.S. Capitol Police Officer.
Search your dirt with the best fruit and vegetable price on the market today by going to balanceofnature.com or by calling 1-800-246-8751. And don't forget, get 35% off your first order as a customer by using discount code.
Where are we landing? What? You talking to me? Bro, this dude left me, really.
Look, me and Josh are taking care of the Xbox. We're being really nice to each other.
Just as your car. With Hormel disinfectant. Kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses.
Santa's Grand Antigua was incredible.
The pool was as large as the ocean.
And the beach was perfect. But what I really noticed was falling in love all over again. Santa's Grand Antigua for one of them. I always dreamed of having kids of my own. Now, I'm ready for something to call me. At Northwestern Mutual, our
Mom.
and enterprise helps you make
Mom.
your dreams like
Mom.
sell us your car today.
I love it. Are you there? Alright, there we go. Alright.
Sell your car on room.com.
All right, more states are widening their eligibility requirements for those who get the vaccine. Some as young as 12 years old can go ahead. The read under
Oh yeah, huh? I get my vaccine next week.
Every ketchup starts with our same tomatoes. But not every tomato ends in the same kind of ketchup. Because we want to be everyone's favorite ketchup. Ketchup for everyone. Our confident revelation is possible in the CFP Professional. A CFP Professional can help you build a complete financial plan. Visit letsmakeaplan.org to find your CFP Professional.
I need to sell my house. Now, there are a lot of places that claim to know how much it's worth, but they don't really know my house or my neighborhood. And they definitely don't show me all my options. That's where HomeLight comes in. I just answer a few questions, and HomeLight gives me a side-by-side comparison of my options, personalized for my needs. And they'll show me what verified buyers will pay for my house right now. It's easy, and it's free. No matter how you choose to sell your home, selling starts at HomeLight.
I need a bow.
Start it today at HomeLight.com.
All right, we know what happened in the nation's capital today. We still don't know why. Investigations into what under a 24-year-old man who attacked two Capitol police officers, killing one of them. The latest right now from Chad Program, who is trying to put all this together. Chad.
Well, we don't know much about the suspect. His name is Noah Green. He is 25 years old. He is from Indiana and appears to have some ties to Virginia. What we've also learned in just the past couple of moments here, and the U.S. Capitol Police have put out a statement here, is about the officer. There were two officers who were hit by Green's car here in this incident at the Capitol, and two were injured. One, of course, is Billy Evans. He died from his injuries, according to U.S. Capitol Police. I'm going to read this from the acting U.S. Capitol Police Chief Yogananda Pittman, that just came in. She says that he had been a Capitol Police officer for the past 18 years. He began his service with the Capitol Police on March 7, 2003, and was a member of the Capitol Division's first responder unit. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has lowered flags at the U.S. Capitol to half-staff in honor of Billy Evans. Pelosi says that he was a martyr for democracy. So again, they're still trying to piece this together, what this was all about. The one thing that we do know from Robert Conte, who is the acting Washington, D.C. police chief, is that there was no nexus to terrorism. At least that's in the early going here. I will tell you, Neil, that they're usually able to piece together a lot about these suspects pretty quickly. Get a license plate, get information about the suspect pretty quickly. I've seen other instances on Capitol Hill where they had the name and even figured out a car within a matter of a few minutes because they have, security cameras everywhere. But again, such a sad, tragic day again at the U.S. Capitol. I cannot underscore that enough. That's something, during Yogananda Pittman's press conference outside, where she was obviously overcome by emotion a little bit. The fact that she was thrust into this role to be the acting police chief after the events of 1/6, after they fired the Capitol Police chief at the time, Stephen Sutton, and both House and Senate Sergeants at Arms, Paul Irving on the House side and Michael Singer, but to have two Capitol Police officers killed, so close together, when only two had ever been killed defending the Capitol, in the history of the U.S. Capitol Police, is really remarkable, and that's why everybody is so sad here, because the number of officers who are still hurting, and what this will stoke is this conversation about how long the National Guard should continue continue to be here. Keep in mind that Nancy Pelosi has just named William Walker, who was the head of the D.C. National Guard, ready to send his troops to the Capitol on 1/6. William Walker will be the new House Sergeant at Arms, succeeding Paul Irvin, who was asked for his resignation the day after the riot on 1/6. But again, they're trying to figure out what they know or what they can learn about Noah Green, who was the suspect who crashed his car into this barricade and lunged officers with a machete or a large steak knife, as Al described to me. And of course, everybody on Capitol Hill rattled again by Officer Billy Evans, giving his life to defend democracy at the U.S. Capitol. It was just February that Ryan Sicknick, who died, he lay in honor in the U.S. Capitol, the same as the other two officers who died in a shootout here in 1998. Jacob Chestnut and John Gibson, who were killed here in 1998.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Jeff Bergerman is central on Capitol Hill today because the day had started out so well. We were getting word of enormous progress on the vaccine front. Then we got a very good jobs report today that showed almost 1 million Americans were added to the nation's payroll. So things were starting off on a very, very good foot, particularly the CDC director saying that the travel risks for those who have been vaccinated are very, very low. She even went so far as to say, with great caution, that you should travel, but always take caution. To read up all of this on the vaccine from Dr. Anthony Fauci, and on the White House Chief Medical Advisor. Doctor, very good to have you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Doctor, first off, on what the CDC director is saying, travel, okay, it's a little less risky for those who've been vaccinated. What about those who have not? What do you think, and how would you recommend travel for them?
Yeah, and it's very clear what we've been saying all along, and Dr. Walensky underscored this today, is that if you are unvaccinated, you should really avoid any unnecessary travel, only very essential travel. And if so, follow very carefully the CDC guidelines about mask wearing, etc. What she said today about people who are vaccinated, that the risk is low of getting infected. And there are certain things that you don't have to do. For example, you don't have to get tested before you actually travel, except if the destination requires it. And you don't have to quarantine yourself when you return from travel, for example, internationally. So there's the advantage now that's being articulated about getting vaccinated with regard to travel.
So what if you haven't been vaccinated? If you could recommend to family and friends of your own, doctor, they haven't been vaccinated, but they're itching to fly, the airlines are offering all sorts of deals to get them to fly, what would you tell them?
I would tell them it's risky. If you're not vaccinated, it's risky, and you should probably limit travel to absolutely essential travel. A lot of people have to travel for quite good reasons. And if you do, and you're going to do that, make sure you follow all the guidelines of safety and public health considerations. Wear a mask, avoid contact. When you're at the airport, don't congregate around people. Keep your distances. When there's travel, when there's surges of travel, we see surges of infection. There's no doubt about that. And for that reason, we want to encourage people, as soon as they get availability for vaccination, please get vaccinated.
Oh, no. All right. Thanks for watching.